So, hi everybody. I am Sahar. I am the CEO and founder of a company called TPAY Mobile. And throughout this presentation, I would like to introduce a little bit what we do. Some of you might know us, some do not know us. And the reason we are here is that we are trying to do something related to monetization to make it a little bit easier for you guys. So who we are as TPAY, actually we are a digital payment platform that has been running in the region for the last 5 years. And running in the region in a sense that was built from inside the region. 5 years ago, we were a startup on our own that we wanted to solve this big problem for you guys as one industry, big industry potential for the region, which is the gaming industry, and lots of other digital similar industries in the region. In what sense? That this region, that is, you know, all of those highlighted countries that we are present in, present meaning that we can reach every single consumer having a mobile number in any of the countries highlighted. This is our proposition for you, and this is the basic solution that we did. We bridge the consumers in all of these countries over our platform to be able to transact in whatever way, to do in-app purchases or to do subscriptions or to do, so it's all about monetization from the end user in every single country across this map. As you've been seeing, we've been developing this region for the last 5 years. So we have 100% coverage. We cover all of the populations highlighted in. So we cover all of the KSA in terms of consumer having phone numbers in KSA, in Egypt, even in Libya, in Algeria, Tunisia, Morocco, Palestine, Jordan, and even now we are expanding to the rest of Africa. We just launched Nigeria, Kenya, Tanzania. In the next 3 months, we will be live in the green region. So it's very important for me that you understand from where we're coming and what we offer in a very simple way. In a snapshot, this is what we did during the last 5 years. We can give you access to the population existing in 18 plus Arab countries and expanding into Africa specifically. We have already integrated with 150 digital merchants from across the digital sectors across the world. Many of them are gaming companies, whether they are mobile games publishers, international, local, regional startups, or the big ones. We give you access to, actually the accurate number is not 600 million, but like the accurate number now with the extra coverage in Africa is 750 plus million addressable market consumer sitting in all of these countries that you can reach over our platform to really transform them into a payer or into an engager or into a player that converts eventually into a payer. How we do this, we're connected in the background to the billing systems of all of the telcos of these regions. So every one of us has a phone number. On your normal phone numbers, you're integrated in one of the telcos. So we're sitting in the billing systems of the telcos of all of these regions, and we're allowing a seamless user experience that goes with the user experience expected from a digital service, whatever it is, in order to really transact seamlessly online. As we speak now, we have 20 million active monthly users that really transact over TPAY across the region, across many industries and many of the 150 merchants with different portfolio of services. Per day, we process 35 million successful transactions. So our sectors, as you can see, no? No? Our sectors, as you can see, are many, and gaming is one of them, but we serve a very similar kind of flavor of users or addressable market in all of these sectors. So we sit in the middle with a kind of platform, one single API that you can, or SDK, that you can integrate with to really be able to connect you to the subscribers base of all of those brands of telcos that really operate in the region. This is basically our proposition, and it's a pure technical digital platform that is equipped or like built around the expectations of the digital industry. The names on the side are some of our partners. On the right. Okay. How it works? How did it work? When we started 5 years ago, we could see that this is the only magical solution where we can do inclusion of all of the populations of our Arab world in order to be able to transact over any digital platform. And we just had to prove it and to make it work, and it worked because simply the user behaviors and expectations were going a little bit digital. Conversion is the keyword, meaning that if you do have currently in front of the screen of whatever ad, like potential players or new users that really want to click this button in order to engage with your game and eventually pay inside the game, typically the conversion rate that can exist with all of the possible online payment methods, credit cards, PayPal, wallets, with very low penetration in our region, and we know the pain in our region in terms of online payment. It's very difficult. But even with those, the conversion rate is very small. The mobile payment conversion or the mobile payment user experience over TPAY does have 10 times more converted payers. They do click in order to do the transaction, and it covers all of the magic of the microtransactional needs that matches our economy challenges and the patterns of using our services and the patterns and the pockets of our users inside the region. What we offer, basically, is that we do the payment. The technical term is called direct carrier billing, just basically allowing any phone number over the region to transact over the platform. We do our integrations in app stores, and we do have extra SDKs for insights, top-up, and etc. Now, this is a typical, just to give you a clear, this is a typical user experience of any in-game purchase that happens using TPAY. You can see that TPAY doesn't show anywhere here. We don't have the name TPAY. We don't have even extra step. We don't have redirection pages. We don't have to come out of the user experience of the game, which is the mandatory like conditions in order to have payers while they are in the need of doing the transaction happen. Why we're here? So in conclusion, we've been there. We had some integrations, and we're here in order to take it to the next level. We want to bring every single developer of the region to be able to go directly to the markets he wants to reach or they want to reach, to experiment with it, to really grow and cross-sell, to productize around it without having to worry about the barriers of entry related to the development, allocations, cost, and technologies in the middle in terms of distribution. And today, we are here to talk about very important and actually very exciting announcement that we want to take to do in order to basically solve this problem for you guys, which is related to the barriers to markets that we are talking about. From here, we are happy to announce that we did a partnership with Unity Distribution Portal. Unity has launched a distribution engine that avails basically any game that is developed over Unity to go directly to the store, whatever is the store is. And TPAY today is one of the direct stores where you can just go from development to any of our present countries, basically 18+ countries, 38+ operators, with the reach of 476 million addressable market users base in the region, with one click from inside Unity without doing any extra engagements of stuff in order to be there. Happy to allow Max from Unity to join the stage to explain to you a little bit more about how it sounds, what is the solution, and to talk a little bit more about the Unity side of the story. Please join me, Max.
There's a clicker.
Do it, yeah.
Is your phone? Just gonna grab my water in case I get thirsty. So good afternoon, everybody. My first time in Jordan, super excited. My name is Maxim de Wit. I'm the global head of content for the Unity distribution portal at Unity Technologies. We're very excited to be here today, announce our partnership with TPAY, and give our developers the opportunity to more easily distribute their content across the MEA region. I'm gonna have to do this twice. So today, let me very quickly walk you through, how to use the Unity distribution portal to take your game to new markets. This is where the pain starts. All right, so for those who do not know Unity, very quickly, we are the world's leading real-time 3D development platform. So we give anybody, whether you're an emerging creator or you're a global technology, entertainment, or manufacturing brand, the tools for you to create digitally and bring it to the real world. At Unity, we believe the world is a better place with more creators in it. Whether you're a developer opening the Unity editor for the first time, or an artist reshaping the world with the power of real-time 3D, you inspire us to keep making Unity a better, more performant and empowering platform. So, just some numbers. With all the creations our developers have made, Unity reached 3 billion devices in just the 12 past months. And the content was installed 29 billion times over the past 12 months. So, it's an incredible amount of content and an incredible amount of exposure it gets globally. So almost half of the top 1,000 games are made with Unity currently, and half of the new mobile games being made today are made with Unity. And we are really proud of all the creations our developers have made, and we are really committed to helping our developers succeed. And today, I'll explain more as to how we're committed to helping our developers succeed in taking their games to global markets. So we've witnessed a recent trend that revenue from gaming is more and more globally distributed, especially like a lot of emerging markets like here in the Middle East, Africa, South America more and more, Asia Pacific, more than 52% of the world's mobile gaming revenue actually came from Asia last year. And the places where you can make your money and where players are spending money is more and more evenly distributed. But if we're looking especially at the Android ecosystem, what we saw is that there's a lot of app stores, but a lot of developers choose not to distribute their content to a lot of those app stores. And the reason why is because it's a very fragmented ecosystem out there that creates substantial challenges when it comes to developing and distributing a mobile game for each of these stores. Now, the reason why is that for every single store you want to put your game on, you're going to have to create a separate build. You're going to have to do a separate payment SDK integration, log on to a separate developer console, do a separate submission for each of these stores. And that's a whole lot of work for a whole lot of stores. And the more stores you do it for, it never gets easier. You're going to have to do this, from building the APK to the SDK integration and the submission. And then not to mention, like, let's say you update your game every 2 weeks. You're going to have to resubmit and do this whole thing all over again. So a lot of developers just, it's not just the small developers, it's the large developers as well. They just don't have the resources available to deal with this. And so as a result, they choose not to distribute. And by that also are not reaching their maximum potential. So this is where the Unity distribution portal was created. It's basically a one-stop distribution solution, and it's the most efficient way basically for game developers to reach, publish, and operate their games to multiple stores in one go. Now, to very quickly show you, what the Unity distribution portal experience is actually like. So first off, in the Unity editor, you're basically going to set up your game. You're going to create that APK. So you're going to create one single build that you're going to be able to distribute across all of the stores. So you're going to set up your in-app purchase catalog. So for example, here on the screen, we see a sack of gold. So you're adding the product ID, you're saying it's $19.99, you add a description, and once you're done cataloging all the different items that the players can purchase in their game, you're going to ask the Unity editor to create this APK, and from there, we're going to go to the Unity distribution portal console. So on this console, as you can see here, you're going to upload your metadata once. So let's say you're going to put your game on 10 stores, you're only going to have to upload your metadata once. So you're going to upload your game icon, add your keywords, say what genre your game is in, and you're going to upload that APK you just created in the editor just this once. Then after you're done creating that build, you're going to go to your publishing page. Is there a laser on this thing? No. Probably not. So on the publishing page, you're going to have a whole overview of stores that you can potentially put your game on. You don't have to, but you can. You can scroll through them. You're going to register an account with the stores you want to put your game on, and you're literally going to hit the checkboxes. And then once you've done selecting which stores you want to put your game on, you're going to hit the publishing button in the top right corner, and you're going to be able to directly submit your game to all of the stores in one go. And all the payment solution, the payment SDKs for each of the stores will be integrated automatically by us in the back end. Now, after you've done the submission to the stores, you have to keep an overview as well as like, where's my submission at? How is it going? So here, you're going to have a very easy overview and say like, okay, I just submitted my game to Catapult. It's in progress. For one store, I can see it's been accepted. And you can also even see when it goes live. So when the App Store is actually pushing the game live on the store. Now, once your game is live on, let's say, 5 or 10 app stores, you don't want to log into 10 different app developer consoles and see how your game is performing on each one of those single markets. So what we've created is a reporting dashboard. It's a unified analytics dashboard where you can see how your game is performing, or all of your games in this case. And you're going to be able to see how it's performing across all of these stores. What your DAUs are like, how it's monetizing, if your transaction totals versus successful transactions are in order. And if you want to zoom in, you can also filter, and I just say like, hey, I just want to see how my game is doing on one store, or on TPAY for that matter. Now, last but not least, there's a lot of Android stores out there. By next year, 2020, we're going to be able to give you access to over 20 stores through UDP. And a lot of you might not always know, every single little detail about each one of these stores. So we've created a partner store page where you can read up on each of these stores. You'll be able to read there, see the FAQs. You'll be able to read up on TPAY's business, for example. And get yourself familiar with the stores, and then after that make a more educated decision on which stores you're going to put your game on. So basically, to recap, you're going to create one single APK, you're going to upload it to the console, select which stores you want to put your game on, and you're going to be able to submit directly all in one go. Then you're going to have your unified analytics dashboard to give you a very easy overview as to how your game is performing. And then we're going to connect you with local experts, like, for example, TPAY, if you want to learn more about the MEA region. Now, since we launched the Unity distribution portal in March. We've seen thousands of developers already distributing their games through UDP. Some fantastic titles, for example, like Hotel Hideaway from Sulake in Finland, Age of Magic from Playkot in Russia, Crazy Defense Heroes from Animoca Brands in Hong Kong. Developers across the world are already using this, and I'm inviting all developers to start using this as well. And probably you're going to ask me, like, well, Max, what is this going to cost me? Absolutely nothing. UDP is a completely free service for developers to use. It's free today, it's free next year, it's going to be free in 2021, so you can start using this immediately. Now, if you want to learn more about the Unity distribution portal, you can go to unity.com/UDP, or you can find my very handsome colleague there in the back, Rehman Rafiq. And where's Ahmed over there from TPAY, as well as Sahar. And you can, of course, walk up to me as well after the presentation is over. Thank you again for listening. And yeah, again, we're very, very excited to work with TPAY, to have such a strategic partner here in this region. We think it's an exciting region. It has a lot of potential, and there's just, frankly, a lot of developers that just don't know how to properly monetize this part of the world. And hopefully with TPAY, we're going to make that a little bit easier for our developers. So white. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Do we have any questions? I have a couple of minutes for questions. We've got one over here. Let me just go grab that.
Thank you for this nice presentation. And you answer my question, the cost of using the portal. But I get confused how TPAY is integrated with your services. And as a developer, how it's going to work with this portal, then with TPAY.
Let me give a very high-level answer first, and then Sahar can probably add on to that. So basically, as you could see from, and maybe I just go back. Yeah. So basically, here, you're going to be able to see TPAY, and you're basically going to, a developer is going to choose to submit his game to TPAY. Now, what's going to happen is that. So the thing is, so in this sense, basically, right, so it's TPAY in this sense is not a store, it's a distribution partner for UDP. So a developer is going to submit his game to TPAY, and then all the partnering telco operators will be able to receive the game through TPAY. So TPAY will basically help the developers distribute their games across the region, across.
Let me elaborate a little bit. So from the developer side, this is the story. Yes. From the telco side, this is us in the middle. So you have your application being discoverable, published on the side of the telco through a portal that is telco, discoverable in a way through the channels of the portal. Through the channels, whether it's a portal or application, we have different channels inside the operator. We're currently integrated in all of those operators. The only thing is that we want every single application that is genuinely developed. They don't have to do an extra effort to write extra code, even to integrate with the APIs of TPAY, or to choose which store or which country we want to do. They can really just revise the conditions, and with a click of a button, same as Maxim has explained, yes, I want to have Egypt, Iraq, Palestine, wherever, just with the push with the bottom without an extra. And then your life, we take care of everything automated in the backbone of this in terms of automatic acceptance and publishing, going live, being discoverable immediately, downloadable, and transactable with the minute with every single operator that is you choose to click as OK for your application to show there. Did I answer your question? Yeah. Please.
Can we bring the microphone?
Sure.
Thank you both. I think that's a brilliant solution, really. And I've got two questions. One is like how the cost structure looks for that. So if I submit and become like and use TPAY, basically is like how much do I need to pay? There are some local providers who provide like payment through like telecommunication companies, but they charge so much money. So that's one, and I think you may have touched on that, but like I might have missed it. The other one would be was like what's the registration is like to actually be associated with TPAY or to use the service. I know like a bunch of the other providers, like not necessarily in telecommunication, they require that your company is registered, that you are legally, you know, like you're paying taxation and all of that. And that's like one of the main, like the biggest obstacles for starting a business or a startup here in like the Middle East. In the US or Australia or like any other place, you just connect to PayPal and get that done. How is it going to be here?
This works as well.
So we're not in the US and we're not in any of this world. We are in our region, and yes, not all of the commercials are favorable and not the economies of our region unfavorable. The pockets of the people are not the same. The engagement of the people, the ARPU per country, and the payment settlement. What you have as TPAY is that we shield. Being TPAY in behind Unity, is that we shield for you guys as developers to think about all of the pain of dealing with all of the breakdown and the settlement and the process and the buy-in and the approvals and the engagement, everything. You don't have to do this. All you have to do is just to review the commercials as if you review any commercials in any store. It's a choice, and before you do it, you have everything listed as every single store on Unity. And if you really see a business case related to it in terms of, yes, I want to even experiment with it, there is no downside, it's free at the end, free for on Unity, free on TPAY. It's just like TPAY is the entity that really shields for you the one-by-one pain areas that you really mentioned. At the end, we will give you the conclusion of the net payout in your pocket, same as any other store international, and we do it across the region in one shot. So it's not that you will have a different conditions or experience about doing business for Egypt versus Saudi versus Iraq versus Palestine. No, it's actually the same way of you dealing with the UDP in terms of publishing, settlement, and the monetization cycle as any other stores. But the commercials are commercials, and they will be listed same as any other store, comparable and even better. Did I answer your question?
So,
Yes.
yeah. So
this answers my question, but like it does not solve the real problem that we have in the Middle East. The past, like not being able to try integration. You can integrate the personal account and PayPal and like try your business and sell.
Yeah.
But now like you need to just test.
Yeah. But again, this is the kind of questions our team will help you with in terms of why it works, because we've been doing this for the last 5 years, and yes, it seems challenging, not comparable, but however, actually in terms of conversion, getting payment and growth, and getting active users, this is working, and it is almost the only solutions in MEA that makes it work, not with the same commercials or conditions of, or the business case is not the same, but at the end, it works in terms that you're profitable, you're growing, and you have an active base, and the active base is growing. So this is our job to you, to give you those insights so that you can really build your business case on top of it.
and just to, you know, again, like the idea behind the Unity distribution portal, right, is that on all of these, your game is not on all of these alternative stores and distribution platforms, right? So today, how much dollars are you making from all of those platforms? 0. You know, regardless of, and of course the commercials have to make sense. And again, on that store partner page, you can see what the commercials are for each of the stores because they're different. Some app stores take 25%, some take 20%, some work with telcos, and so with the telco margins, like you have less margin. But at the end of the day, you know, I'd rather like pay, you know, an X percentage on making money than, you know, knowing that I'm making $0 on all of those platforms every day.
I think that's really the crux of it for me, which is the facilitating the process of getting that game to market, regardless of where that market is a fundamentally good thing. And I know it's something that Unity's been talking about trying to do for a long time, and the fact that you guys have now started to do that is, I think, a fantastic thing that the whole industry will benefit from, and thank you very much for that.